We have a roll call, please.
Trustee Miranda,
Here.
trustee Mathis.
Here.
Trustee Pena,
Here.
trustee Swanson,
Here.
trustee Valerio,
Here.
trustee Rivera,
Here.
trustee Wright, trustee Jennings.
Here. Would everyone please stand and join us in the pledge of allegiance, led tonight by Officer Perry. I pledge allegiance to the flag of
the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The land acknowledgement read by Ed Aguilar.
Thank you, Trustee Jennings. Good evening. Land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that San Joaquin Delta College serves students in the community on the unceded ancestral homeland of the indigenous peoples, including the Yokuts, Plains Miwok, Patwin, and Nishnawbe. This land remains inseparable from its Aboriginal stewards. As guests, we recognize that we benefit from living and working on their traditional homeland, and we wish to pay our respects by acknowledging the ancestors, elders, and relatives of the Yokuts, Plains Miwok, Patwin, and Nishnawbe, including by affirming their sovereign rights as First Peoples. We remain grateful for the rich culture, languages, contributions, and heritage of the First Nation peoples who lived here and loved here, who raised their families here, who cared for land and life here, who are buried in many marked and unmarked places here, and who remain here despite acts of genocide, assimilation, and forced removal. Let us honor them, this land, and all life in our thoughts, words, and actions in this place. Oh.
Thank you. Do we have any public comments this evening?
We have a couple of public comments. We have some for a closed session. But we also have a few others, and I just want to double check. Is there an Amina Flowerdew? Is that for a closed session? Is that a closed session item or a public? Okay, and Cynthia Rosas? Okay, should we start with Amina Flowerdew?
Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Amina Flowerdew. I'm here today as your student commencement speaker and graduate of 2025. I'm here to speak in support of Darlene and the Native American Success Academy. As a Native American student, NASA transformed my college experience. Darlene is much more than a program director. She is a mentor, an advocate, and someone who truly believes in the success of the Native American students. One of Darlene's greatest strengths is her ability to connect students with opportunities that many of us would never find on our own. As a Native woman, she has built meaningful relationships with tribal communities, Native organizations, and Native serving populations throughout California. These connections became opportunities for students like myself. Because of Darlene, I had the opportunity to tour Sacramento State and meet the faculty and staff who were launching the very first Waletu Native American College cohort. That experience changed my life. It changed the complete direction of my life. I made connections to the Native American faculty, staff, and students. I was welcomed into a community where I truly felt I belonged. Today, I am proud to be a student of Sacramento State and a member of that very first cohort. NASA also gave me something that cannot be measured on a transcript: community. Through Darlene's leadership, I connected with other Native American students, found mentors, and developed relationships that continue to support me today. For many Native students, that sense of belonging is what helps us stay in school, graduate, and continue our education. I stand before you today as someone who graduated from Delta College and is continuing my education because someone believed in me and opened doors that I didn't even know existed. Darlene did that for me, and she has done it for many other Native American students. I respectfully ask you to recognize the tremendous impact that Darlene has had on students to support the continued work of the Native American Success Academy. Leaders like Darlene, they don't just manage programs, they change lives, they build futures, and strengthen our entire community. Thank you for your time and your consideration.
And then I have a couple for closed session, Destiny Rivas.
Evening.
Good evening. My name is Destiny Rivas. I've been working with Native American youth for 20-something years. It's been my whole life. I run powwows, I do Native education, I work with Native community. It's very rare that you see a leader like Darlene come up. Darlene came up and she's been fighting for Native American youth in every way. And that is something that is so important to Native American students. It is so easy for our youth to fall behind, to get lost. You guys know the numbers. You guys are board members. You guys know how often they're dropped out. You know why you brought the NAS sort of in place. What the kids need to know is they need to know that they have somebody that's willing to fight for them. And not when it's easy, but when it's hard. Someone to stand beside them at every turn. Someone that will not turn their back on them. Someone that will be there and answer their calls no matter what. Our kids are more likely to have committed suicide between the ages of 16 and 24 than all other nationalities combined. This is why you have a NASA program. This is why you have somebody like Darlene in there. She's there fighting for these kids. And that's her job. And she takes it seriously and she loves them. If you are out there in the community and seeing her taking them on the field trips like California Native Day, taking them to all these organizations and making sure that they have this experience and that they're invited into a community. Because one of the main reasons why they commit suicide at the rate that they do is because they feel lost and alone. They feel like there's nobody out there like them. Because they may look like me, they may look like American, they may look like East Indian, but they don't quite fit in because they don't pray the same, they don't think the same, they don't talk the same. And that matters. So when they feel that isolation, that's where they go off on this wrong path. That's where they leave college. That's where they go and they decide, you know what, I'm gonna go into this bad path. But you need somebody like Darlene at the forefront fighting for these kids, and you have her. Please don't let her go. Please keep her here. Please keep her fighting for our community. Please keep her working with us in the Native American community of Stockton. That's my plea.
Last one here is Joseph Mace.
My name is Joseph May. I'm an elder of for the Native community. I want to tell you a little bit about my history. When I was growing up, I would love sitting in the circle with the white kids. Read Dick and Jane. What they gave me with an apple and a cookie in the corner. So I still survived the elements that I was going through. If we had Darlene back in them days, I would have somebody to go to. I even wrote a book. You know, they're teaching it here at Delta College. They tell about my history of when I went through war and how I survived. I was taken away from my home. Actually, they call it incarceration, but they call it a draft. I got drafted. I didn't want to go and fight because they weren't hurting me. There were people just like me in a different country fighting for what they believe. I will fight for my country. I will die for my country as long as I'm not fighting for another cause. That's what this America's all about. It's to fight for your country that anything truly comes in. But Janice had went to this session where my book is being taught. The kids have learned that there's a whole lot to do with your parents. My book tells about my parents, how they guided me through all the rough times of life. They showed me the right direction. And it was for my parents, like Diane or anybody else, to show me the way, I would have been lost. But since I hear now, please, it's harsh to say, but it's not very often you have a Native person in schools to help Native people. I've been practicing my beadwork since 1978 when I got permission to honor my deeds and believe in my religion. That's in 1978. Think about that. I'm being at
3
that
minutes.
Saturday. Thank you.
Very much. Any other public comments?
That was all.
Um, Are there any requests from any of the trustees to move around any board items? I'm gonna make some announcements here in a second, but then I'll do that if anybody. No, not yet. Okay. The board properly placed a matter on today's closed session agenda for public employee discipline, dismissal, and release. Pursuant to Government Code Section 54957 subdivision B1, which is the personnel exception under California's open meeting law known as the Brown Act. Also pursuant to the Brown Act, Government Code Section 54957 subdivision B2, the employee in question was given one, notice that this matter had been placed on closed session agenda of a regular meeting scheduled for today, and two, an opportunity to request that the matter instead be heard in open session during the time on the agenda dedicated to public comment on closed session items. I have been informed that the employee is requesting that the matter be heard in open session. Therefore, the matter will be heard at this time. This is referring to item 11B in the published agenda. Before we begin, I will take a few moments to explain the process that we will use to conduct this open session item. Under the Brown Act, an employee may request that complaints and charges be heard in open session. This open meeting requirement means that when such a request is made, we are required to hear in open session the complaints or charges that we would otherwise have heard in closed session. Therefore, we will hear from Vice President of Human Resources on the factual basis for the district's recommendation in open session. The employee will then be given an opportunity to speak, and that will end the public consideration of the charges. Any members of the public who wish to speak on this matter beyond those who have already spoken may speak subject to the board's usual procedures for hearing public comment. After public comment, the board will move to closed session for deliberations. The board will consider the recommendation of the president in a closed session. The next item on our agenda is ordinarily recognitions. Is Mr. Whiteley here? How long do you think that is going to take?
Less than 5 minutes.
Okay, what my suggestion is going to, let's hear the recognitions at this point, and then we will be adjourned to closed session following the presentation of the by the person in question. Is that agreeable with everyone in the room? Okay, so with that, let's hear from Mr. Breitler, and then I'll continue with 11B.
Right, good evening, Dr. Jennings, trustees and colleagues. Good to be with you. We just wanted to briefly thank and commend members of the Delta College Police Department who are here tonight for their quick and very professional response to the fire outside the electron microscopy building last week. If you didn't anything like me, your heart skipped a beat or two when you got the Mustang alert that night. Thankfully, this did not end up being a major incident. However, the very professional way that they responded, I think, was indicative of how they would handle a major incident if something were to occur there, which is certainly reassuring for all of us. So from the dispatchers receiving calls and sending units, making notifications and sending that initial Mustang alert and subsequent alerts, to the officers who quickly cleared the building and secured the scene, and then the follow-up investigation, which they were able to review surveillance footage and eventually locate a suspect off campus up near Pershing and Swain, and make an arrest in this case. All of this having occurred within what, 4 hours? Yeah, about 2 hours. We also want to, of course, thank our partners at Stockton Fire. It's wonderful having the station right there on the north side of campus. And also our facilities folks who really quickly cleaned up the site the next morning and cleared out some of the burned bushes and all that sort of things. It's a very quick and professional response all the way around. As AVP Rago put it the next day, public safety is more than responding to an emergency or a call. It's preventing harm, protecting our campus community, and creating an environment where our students and employees can feel safe to learn, work, and succeed. So I think many of those who were involved with the police department are here tonight. So maybe if you could just stand when I read your names and be acknowledged. Officer Pete Longero, he's already. Officer Terry Pratt. Dispatcher Alex Garza. Dispatcher Alan Hinomas. Campus Safety Officer Kevin Ost. Student Services Officer Aaron De Leon. Thank you all for your service to the college, to our students, to the community. If Rego, did you have anything you wanted to add?
You covered it very well. This was just another example of the great work that our staff do every single day to protect our campus. We look at emergency management moving forward and what that's going to look like on campus. This is an example of what that might look like in the future, where we have fire responding, we have facilities responding, we have PD responding. And everybody did a fantastic job. It's really, I'm very proud to be able to lead this organization. Thank you for your support of this.
Pardon me, a quick photo?
Yes, please.
Come on up, folks. PD.
Where'd you want?
Just in front of the diocese.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta be good for someone.
Spread in there with the guys, come on, lady.
Good. All right, you ready? 1 second, flip. Okay, got it.
On behalf of the board, I want to thank all of you for your continued hard work, keeping us safe on this campus, and it's really a tremendous support that you all do. I know that I got that text that night and it looked like the building was on fire. So I was about halfway to Stockton when I got code 4. Anyway, said that it was a trash can and limited to the exterior of the building, and I turned around and went home. But I want to thank you all again for being there all the time, 24/7, 365. You're the best.
Trustee Jennings, Eileen has something to say.
Yes, I need.
Trustee Jennings, as you're turning to the next item, my strong suggestion is that you confirm that the employee is in the audience today and that she wishes the matter to be considered in open session, and then allow first Ms. West and then she to speak.
That's okay. That was my plan. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Is Ms. Solario in the room today? Yes, she is. Okay. So with that, I'm going to ask the Vice President of Human Resources, Ms. West, to proceed and limit your remarks to no more than 10 minutes, please.
Good evening. I will read the statement of facts. Darlene Solario serves as the manager of the Native American Success Academy, NASA. In September 2025, the district notified Ms. Solario that maintenance staff would remove a doorway connecting the NASA office to an adjacent room as part of a planned construction project, and she reacted with hostility toward the maintenance staff. When maintenance workers arrived to complete the project, Ms. Solario accused them of taking away from Native Americans and giving to other people. She implied one of the maintenance workers was racist and she repeatedly heckled the employee. Her conduct became so confrontational that the maintenance employee refused to return to the work area while she was present. The second maintenance employee remained on site after completing their work because they were concerned for their colleague. When one of the maintenance workers returned to complete the painting work, the employee discovered that the newly constructed wall had been defaced with multiple red handprints and the words "We Stand." The markings appeared on the NASA side of the wall in an office to which Miss Solario alone had access. She was present when the maintenance worker discovered the vandalism. As the maintenance employee began photographing the wall, Miss Solario stated she had already taken photographs and questioned why the employee was documenting the damage. Despite being aware of the vandalism, she never reported it. The district investigated the vandalism. When questioned about the vandalism, she maintained that the painted handprints were not vandalism, but a symbolic expression representing missing and murdered Indigenous people and resistance to discrimination. Ms. Solario initially said she took full responsibility for what had occurred and later clarified that those statements reflected responsibility as the program manager and came from a desire to protect students or anyone involved in the vandalism rather than an admission that she personally created the markings. The district instructed Ms. Solario to maintain the investigation confidential, and she refused to comply with the directive and openly discussed and emailed about the confidential investigation. The district advised Ms. Solario that her conduct was inappropriate, but she failed to follow the directives given. In the fall of 2025, the district placed Ms. Solario on paid administrative leave. The district directed her not to enter non-public areas of campus without permission and not to contact witnesses or potential witnesses, including NASA students. Ms. Solario did not comply with the directives given. She contacted students to organize and host a graduation stole presentation event in April 2026. Taken together, her conduct reflected repeated disregard for workplace expectations, poor judgment, disrespect toward coworkers, failure and refusal to follow directives, and a pattern of conduct that disrupted district operations and undermined trust in her ability to perform her leadership responsibilities. That is all.
Ms. Solario, would you like to address the board?
Sure.
Please begin and contain your remarks to 10 minutes.
So, some of what she said is true. I'd like to, address the fact that there are 3 sides to every story. And you will read, the evidence, the 120-page, investigation. You guys will see that there's evidence of not anything that is in my defense. So, there are people that could have been interviewed on my defense. However, they were not. There's no evidence. There is no solid evidence that incriminates me to other than the fact that I said that I take full responsibility, and I didn't say that I take full responsibility because that was my space, that was an office, and I did take full responsibility for the culpability of my position. We are a community, and I did say that whatever happened here, that I will take responsibility for it. I would also like to say that one, but I was not prepared for today. I would like you guys to review the body cam footage between Officer Bonjero and myself, because I have 5 job footage of that. I recorded it. And it's not that I was being. It's not that I was being uncooperative. It's that I told Officer Bonjero that I was not going to speak with anybody without legal representation. And so, in doing that, then goes from administrative leave. This whole time, 9 months, I could have been serving the students, because that's what I strive to do. I strive to serve the students. I'm a community service oriented person. And I could have been doing that this entire time. However, I was put on administrative leave and resources and financials were wasted. And they could have been serving the students in the entire school. One thing that Leanne was said is that I was the only one that had access to that room, which is also because if you have access to Form 109, that form have access to Form 110. So anybody that had access to Form 110 and Form 109, you have access to both spaces. So that is a false statement. And I was not aggressive. So unless they can prove that I was aggressive, then it's just hearsay. Also, yes, it's correct that I did provide a graduation ceremony to the students. I did provide a graduation ceremony to the students, not because it's going against my administrative duties. I understand that I was relieved of my administrative duties, but I was not relieved of my duties to my community. And one thing that when you're in our community goes beyond the boundaries of the Delta College boundaries, goes beyond the district. So I was still serving my community, not just to the students here at Delta College, but to my community in our area. So, Ms. Leanne West complained that I violated administrative duties, but that no. My duties to my community go beyond the bounds of my rights as a manager. So yes, I'm a manager here at Delta College, but my duties go beyond and into my community itself. So I'm nervous. I don't know what to say, but all I could say is that like I know that sometimes my decisions may be misguided, but I always have the right intention, and I always have the right intention for me, and I have always have the right intention for my community. And that is not just the native community, but it's everybody that I can. And I stand with that.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the trustees you'd like to ask either of Ms. Solario or Vice President West? Hearing none, is there any additional public comment regarding this item that we have not heard? Let's start.
To Ms. Solorio, my question is, did you ever submit that video that you mentioned to the college?
I did
To whom?
to HR. So I believe it was to Tiana Williams at the time. But they do have it on record and they submitted it to the investigator. So it is on record, but I was never released the body footage from Officer Mitchell. Thank you.
Trustee Rivera.
What I heard you say in your talk was that you understand that you were given a directive when you were put on leave and it said to not have any contact with anyone.
No. It said I was relieved of my administrative duties.
And that meant contact with students.
No,
That wasn't clear.
no, it said administrative duties.
Okay. Is that correct? Did someone? Someone answer
Vice
that.
President West?
Administrative duties for me would be.
Yes,
period.
that would, yes, that would cover students as well.
How do we define the lines? Because with my position and with the way that we work with community, so my position follows into our community. So how do we define the line? So unless it was instructive that I'm not to contact students even into my community. So how am I being defined if it's not instructed in the verbiage?
I'm not an attorney, but I would say that, who's paying that paycheck? Who's writing that check to you? Your community or the college?
So
That's how I'm just saying, as an individual, I'm not defending the college, I'm not defending you, I'm just saying, as an individual, I'm looking at it here and there.
and respectfully, but where is the line drawn? So when I go into my community and I speak to my community and I tell them about resources and support and tell them to come back to Delta because they were telling me that they were not gonna go to Delta anymore. And I'm still encouraging them to go to Delta College and giving them the resources. Where does that line, where's that line drawn? So if you're coming into question, where does my duty fall? So can we clarify that? So you have to be able to clarify that verbiage. And you have to be able to define that line. Otherwise, I'm not without, like, I'm still doing my duty as a community. Not because I do that. Everywhere that I go, I'm telling people about resources, not because it's my job, but just because it's what I do. Go to tenant, go to native court, go to get a 30-day voucher for a hotel. So are you gonna tell me that I should say that to people?
I want to caution the trustees not to engage in any debate here, just gathering evidence and answering specific questions. Did you have?
Yeah, my question to Ms. Olorio is, when you go out into the community, you're, informing the community of the resources available. If I may ask you, what information were you giving students when you invited them over
For what instance?
the graduation?
To acknowledge the fact that they're graduating, that they're accomplishing something. Because we know that, so for centuries, Native Americans and institutions, bad relationship, because institutions were created to take away from Native Americans. So this institution has now instituted a program that was supposed to support Native Americans on education and the projects, right? And so that's what I was fostering. So when I would go back out into the community, I would say, yeah, so when I would go back and when I'm in the community, I would say, yeah, go to Delta College. You have a lot of people that are supporting you. One of the persons that I would promote, Susan Bang, because Susan Bang is a very loving and unbiased.
I'm gonna stop debate at this point. I don't want to engage in a back and forth debate and argument and, all of that. You've had an opportunity to share your story and we appreciate that. The board's going to adjourn at this point to close session. We're going to consider items 11B and 11C. We are going to reschedule item 11D to the following board meeting regarding the performance evaluation. So at this point, we are adjourned to closed session. I'm thinking it's probably going to be 45 minutes or so. So it's 5 after 6. So hopefully we'll be back by about 10 minutes to 7. So we're adjourned now to closed session. Pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.1 subdivision A5, the board will defer its report to a later time. Sorry. Next item on the agenda is
Consent.
consent. Thank you. Are there any items that any of the trustees would like to have removed from consent? Yes. H and I. H and I. Okay, so with the exception of H and I, what's the pleasure of the board? So move to adopt. Motion by trustee Valerio with a second by trustee Pena to adopt the consent agenda with the exception of items H and I. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call please.
Trustee Miranda,
Yes.
trustee Mathis,
Yes.
trustee Pena,
Yes.
trustee Swanson,
Yes.
trustee Valerio,
Yes.
trustee Rivera,
Yes.
trustee Jennings.
Yes. Item H. Trustee Valerio.
So I'm looking at the org chart, number 5. And because it's asking for the proposed apprentice program director. And I'm just curious, out of the department of 5, you have 3 vacancies. Why is that? How can a department function with 3 vacancies, 1 director, and 2 full-time employees?
It's an excellent question. So this department has been chasing those 3 positions for about, well, at least as long as I've been here. In terms of, at first it was getting them approved through the strong workforce process, and then it was getting them prioritized. In all honesty, the person that is in this job description at this point has recently resigned. We're waiting for our APP to come in, and one of the fundamental questions is, do we need those workers or do we need something else to support the department? So this has been a long-term kind of shuffling with the, I would just say the flux that the workforce has been in. And trying to figure out exactly what we need to do. This is as our apprenticeship program has been growing, those 3 positions were really put in place in order to accelerate that growth. So right now we're doing okay with it, but we need to talk about where we need to go.
Okay, thank you, appreciate that, especially the comment about Michelle Caston, yes, I resigned, because I read that someone she resigned, so I'm like, okay, now.
Yeah, and the president and I are having some conversations about what that might look like.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it.
Okay, so what's the pleasure of the board regarding item H?
So moved.
Second.
Motion in the second to adopt item H. Roll call please.
Trustee Miranda,
Yes.
trustee Mathis.
Yes.
Trustee Pena,
Yes.
trustee Swanson.
Yes.
Trustee Valerio,
Yes.
trustee Rivera,
Yes.
trustee Jennings.
Yes. Item I.
Yeah, could I just get some more detail of the native beef project, because there's a contract there, but there wasn't a whole lot of detail associated with something.
So I'm laughing because I believe the last 3 years in a row, I've received the same question
Okay.
about this. This is an NSF grant. One of the issues that we've had with this grant is that the grant was actually granted back in March. We are a pass-through agency for the grant, so they give the college the grant and then we pay the grantee. And unfortunately, things fell down in terms of us getting it processed to get in. So it's a grant between our faculty member and the NSF to count native bees and to do a project with that. We are the pass-through agency. One of the things that we're gonna be doing and moving forward is Dean Epistopace and I are gonna put on our calendars in March to check and see if they've received the NSF grant again, and we'll get it to you soon.
Okay, great. So we're the pass-through, so we have no input on.
It's not our project. They've gone.
Get the money to
Right,
give it up.
yeah, I don't even think we have any overhead on this. It's just we're the fiscal agency.
Okay,
looking out
okay.
for the-
Perfect, that's great.
There's a report at the end, so we can always give you the report because he does a report every semester.
Oh, that'd be great.
Talking about it, it follows Anita B's and keeps building on. We're a living area of this.
Yeah, appreciate that, because when it says campus at a living lab.
You have a living lab. It's going to grow.
What does that mean?
We'll make sure that we get the report to the board.
Is it mold somewhere? All right, thank you. Scared.
Any other questions regarding item I?
Second.
There's a motion by trustee Pena with a second by trustee Valerio to adopt item I. Roll call please.
Trustee Miranda,
Yes.
trustee Mathis.
Yes.
Trustee Pena,
Yes.
trustee Swanson,
Yes.
trustee Valerio,
Yes.
trustee Rivera,
Yes.
trustee Jennings.
Yes. Item 5A, we're gonna swear in, Rodney Rodrigo as a peace officer at San Joaquin Delta College. So if you come up here. Raise your right hand. I, Rodney Rodrigo,
I, Rodney Vigo,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
discharge the duties upon which I am about to.
Congratulations, Chief.
Thank you very much. Well, the family that can make it. You mean the trustees too?
Yeah, let's get all the trustees out here.
All right, now the trustees.
Two more. Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry, there's that one. You're ready.
What's that? 30.
What's that?
Almost done. It's like family.
All right.
Mother-in-law, say, come on, just one second. Yes, something. There's not a few, but too many. Okay. Item 5B, annual review of the district's organizational charts. Yes, trustee, Swanson.
I would like to request to pull this item because the charts were not available until just yesterday, late afternoon, and so it didn't really allow the public to really see them. Okay.
We reschedule this, well, is that a motion to take?
Motion to table, yes.
Is there- There's a second to the motion, which cuts off discussion. Roll call, please.
Trustee Miranda,
Yes.
trustee Mathis,
Yes.
trustee Pena,
Yes.
trustee Swanson,
Yes.
trustee Valerio,
Yes.
trustee Rivera,
Yes.
trustee Jennings.
Yes, we'll schedule this for the next meeting, please. Non-consent approval of redirection of funds, maintenance worker 2, carpenter to maintenance worker 2, painter.
Good evening, everyone. This one is pretty simple. We just are going to be redirecting the department funds instead from a carpenter to a painter. The need for a painter is there is more need for a painter right now than a carpenter.
Second. The motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing no further discussion, roll call, please.
Trustee Miranda,
Yes.
trustee Mathis,
Yes.
trustee Pena,
Yes.
trustee Swanson,
Yes.
trustee Valerio,
Yes.
trustee Rivera,
Trustee Rivera?
Yes.
trustee Jennings.
Yes. Item 6B, approval of reclassification of administrative assistant 3 confidential to benefits and leave analyst confidential.
We have had a vacancy in human resources since January, and we already have 2 admin roles in the office, so we thought it would be more beneficial to reclassify to a benefits and leave analyst, as there is currently only 1 in the district.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Miranda, trustee Mathis,
Yes.
trustee Pena,
Yes.
trustee Swanson,
Yes.
Trustee Valerio.
Yes.
Trustee Rivera.
Yes.
Trustee Jennings.
Yes. Item 6C, approval of new entitlement, student program specialist, juvenile justice.
So moved. Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Miranda.
Yes.
Trustee Mathis.
Yes.
Trustee Pena.
Yes.
Trustee Swanson.
Yes.
Trustee Valerio.
Yes.
Trustee Rivera.
Yes.
Trustee Jennings.
Yes. Item 6D, approval of San Joaquin Delta College furniture standards.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second on the floor. I have a question from trustee Swanson.
I have a question about the furniture for the areas that are public areas, like the couches and chairs. Are they ADA approved? Because I know some of those couches and chairs are cushy and nice, but low to the ground, and knowing me, sometimes it's very comfortable, but you have to roll over top of them. And, you know, I just want to make sure that our waiting areas and the public areas are ADA accessible, that somebody is waiting. If they aren't in a wheelchair and they need to sit down, they'll be able to get back up again.
Okay, so, good question. So I think whenever there is a design of a lobby space, the furniture designer needs to account for ADA. So, there are certain, it gets complicated of what's required for ADA, but, the furniture would need to meet the ADA standards at that time when they're purchased to, for lobby space. So based on the need, yes, they will be. In terms of the height, I'm not sure what the specific requirement is for ADA, the height of the seat, but I can tell you that all the furniture that we're buying is standard, and it should have met all the ADA.
I noticed that the ADA tables.
Well, the ADA tables are head adjustable.
Yeah.
And that's what makes them ADA, tables, the fact that they can go low. I think it's, 4 inches lower and up to, 6 or 7 inches high. So the adjustable is probably the most, the most that you can think for it.
Mine kind of follows the same thing with AD. I'm just looking more for the taller, large bodied persons. It's gonna be able to accommodate them as well. Almost like AD, but special kind of.
Yeah, let's take a, so the seats that you would, I'm looking at the chairs that what their standard are. I'm seeing if there's any language about width.
Because I think about the chairs and one looked like a desk chair as well. You know.
I don't know. I don't even know what the.
I was surprised. I'm on the screen chair.
Yeah.
I was on the committee that evaluated those chairs, and we made sure that there were chairs that would fit a variety of body sizes. And that was one of the discussion that we want to make sure that it should be captured within the document.
Yeah.
No,
The pictures don't necessarily provide the dimension.
okay.
And then yeah, thank you. So all of these know their standards. You can speak to, there's a huge skew under there in terms of what customized within that set.
Okay.
So it's not like it's just that chair, like you can do it with out arms, with the different heights of the back. Those are all options within that chair.
Or you can take it on some sort of.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about the rollers on the chairs? Because I know some chairs are just this.
Yeah,
If you get on them and it's a safety hazard.
typically from when my experience designing buildings and selecting furniture is the casters have to match the ceiling. So there's certain casters that go on carpet and
Right.
there's certain casters that go on hardwood.
Okay.
And those have to be matching.
Trustee Miranda.
We're not finalizing these designs yet, right?
What we are asking as administration, we're asking the board to formalize and set these as.
Got it. Okay, have you guys gotten any student input on the computer lab tables, like the type of color things? I've been told by a few students that they do not like the orangish color on the table itself. So I'm just asking, you know, these students are gonna be working on these and sitting on these chairs. We had a variety of students come in and give their input on these.
Yeah, so this was all done through our facilities committee, and I believe there's student participation on the facilities committee. Yeah, there is. Yeah,
There was.
yeah. So, so this for the board, for your information, this went through, facilities. So since February, we, have a expert in furniture, there's actually consultants who are experts in furniture, meet with the facilities committee, over and over again to kind of talk about things.
How many students come to these facilities committees?
So right here we have, so in the we have voting, so in the packet, there is memorandum from Stephanie O'Brien and from William explaining all the different meetings that occurred with the gates. You would have to reference the minutes to see how. Not that important.
Any questions? I have a question and comment regarding the quality of the furniture. I know that when we've outfitted the student services building, it didn't take long before the tables, particularly up on the second floor there, started falling apart. And a similar situation occurred over in the new science and math building. What consideration was made to the quality of the furniture that's been selected? And generic question. And then my second part of the question is regarding special needs facilities like the old music rooms where chairs for musicians are a particular angle and a particular height. And this music teacher 25 years ago had to go to battle to get the college to purchase chairs that weren't the wooden upholstered chairs that had been originally supplied to the college by California Correctional Industries, which was at the time run by the California Department of Corrections, who made and sold furniture to public entities. And what provision is in this standard to provide for that and to provide consultation with faculty in specific areas where special needs might exist? And then the third comment is regarding a board policy regarding furniture facilities and standards. Is there such a policy, and would the administration think that that might be a good article from which a basis of establishing the standard come from?
Okay, so I have three questions: quality, the exception process, and board policy.
Yes.
Okay, so in terms of quality, if these are these are the de facto standard manufacturers. KI was evaluated, and there's another manufacturer that was evaluated as well. So these are the highest quality manufacturers. They are standard across most of the community college districts and the education sector. But we just don't take their word for it. Inside of the proposal is a 10-year warranty. So they have to honor their warranty. So if we buy a chair or furniture, they are, if that were to happen, let's say we build a building with the outfit with the standards and the furniture breaking within 2 years, we just file a warranty form. I know for a fact that works. It happened to my desk. My desk broke when I first got here, and it was still under warranty. We filed it for warranty. We said they actually had to replace the whole desk. It was $1,000. And it was about $300. So it's the same. I don't believe it's the same manufacturer, but it is the equivalent manufacturer for what they do. The manufacturer, this is a private company, it's no longer verifying from the Department of Corrections. So they are subject to the private sector and some of the private sector, so, it's not like that, that's not something that we're family owns.
Do you know if the Department of Corrections is still in business in regard to furniture?
I have,
Because the stuff they made was really good.
yeah, good.
I mean, it was, 35 years old when I got here, it's like brand new.
Yeah,
And then we bought new stuff, and like you said, 5 years later, you have to replace it again.
yeah, so,
I'd go for 35 years.
Yeah.
And do you think that just in response to that, do you think that the, lifetime of a piece of furniture is 10 years?
yeah, so in terms of, so there is a performance specification inside the thing. And, what the committee and what was decided on is three realms: comfort, durability, and quality. So, all recommended products must have previously vetted college applications for proving the viability. All recommended finishes and product construction must have demonstrated the ability to withstand the demanding environment for all 10+ years. All recommended finishes must be proven to hold up in demanding environments for 15+ years. All products recommended must reflect a timeless, not trending design. Durability, all products must be designed for higher education and proven to withstand the demands of an 18-hour day for many years. All products must be maintained on-site and have no parts or features that can be removed without tools. All product materials and finishes must have been proven to last 10+ years in environment. So that's quality. The second one was the exception process.
Yeah.
So there is a process on page 33 for a user to request a variation for the product or finish for the standard offering. And that will go through the vice presidents to review and approve any exception. So
Which vice president?
It would be the executive team. Sure, I read this correctly before I speak on it. It says it'll be discretion of the vice president of administrative services by how flexible the application of this process will be.
So it's up to you, not for instance, up to
Yeah.
the vice president of instruction and vice president of student services.
Correct, that is recommended.
Okay. What was the third topic?
The third topic was policy, right? So you could remind me on that.
Yeah, should there be a policy from which all of these standards are derived? Regarding, that would be the board's opportunity to speak in regarding ADA, regarding quality, regarding. That would be a policy decision granted to the board, I think, from which you would establish your standards.
Yeah, I think
Maybe the tail's wagging the dog at this point.
I think, yeah, so from our perspective, we were trying to engage in a process. We are, some of the goals of the program were related really to the bond, and to get this before we start building buildings for the bond, there will be substantial furniture purchases related to the bond. We wanted to have these standards in place in time for when we, but it certainly is up to the board's purview. If they prefer a policy and a procedure method of this, that is completely up to the board and at the board's discretion. But this is certainly our attempt, administration's honest and good attempt to get a standard together for a committee process.
Dr. Braden, regarding the policy, vantage,
What I would recommend is, the board has an interest in that, what this would be is this would be your operational handbook as to how it would be implemented. What we can do is we can collect the interest from the board in terms of the high level board policy that you would like to see put forth. We're happy to help draft that and bring that through the policy committee. And then after that goes through, anything that was in that board policy would therefore trump what is in the handbook at that point, so that we could help to drive if there are any conflicts between that. We can make sure that was clear. In addition to that, we could also have the AP in which the president could specifically direct how they want to implement this. I'd recommend still having a handbook, because that allows that flexibility. You're not gonna be putting fabric statements in your board policy.
Correct.
But yes, I think we can very much facilitate that.
Right. So. It's a pleasure, board. So move.
I have a person, a second already.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So we were in the discussion period. So with that, let's, roll call, please.
Trustee Miranda,
Yes.
trustee Mathis.
Yes.
Trustee Pena,
Yes.
trustee Swanson,
Yes.
trustee Valerio.
Yes.
Trustee Rivera,
Yes.
trustee Jennings.
Yes. Okay, item E, approval to renew the contract with CWD-G for Okta Single Sign-On Services.
So.
Second.
Motion and a second, is there any discussion? Hearing none, you're off the hook. Roll call.
Trustee Miranda, trustee Mathis.
Yes.
Trustee Pena,
Yes.
trustee Swanson, trustee Valerio,
Yes.
trustee Rivera,
Yes.
trustee Jennings.
Yes. Item 8A, second reading and approval of institutional self-evaluation report. Dr. Figueroa. How are you tonight?
Doing well, thank you. Thank you, trustee president Jennings, superintendent president Egler Lawrence, and members of the board. Good evening. I'm here for second reading and approval of our comprehensive 2026 institutional self-evaluation report known as ICER in support of our application for reaffirmation of accreditation with ACCJC. I'd like to once again thank all members of our campus community who contributed to the drafting of this report. And I want to offer particular appreciation to our ICER writing team for all their work as well. Dr. Jordan Giannoni, who served as co-chair with me, Dr. Tina Akers, and Becky Plaza as well. I'll pause here. That's welcoming feedback or questions the board may have regarding the report.
This is presented at the previous meeting. Are there any questions or comments? Someone motion to adopt in a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Miranda,
Yes.
trustee Mathis.
Yes.
Trustee Pena,
Yes.
trustee Swanson,
Yes.
trustee Valerio,
Yes.
trustee Rivera,
Yes.
trustee Jennings.
Yes. Thank you.
Trustee James, I do have one question. Given that there's a signature page on the second, is it okay that we route it through DocuSign given that some of our members aren't here for wet signature?
Yes.
I'll send it out after the, thank you so much.
Comments from constituent groups. Let's start with the Associated Students of Delta College. Tina Rocha, Mayor Assistant President, or designee.
Good evening, trustees, president, and members of the committee. My name is Angela Vázquez Martinez, and I serve as the treasurer for the Associated Students of Santa Cruz. I'm honored to be here today alongside our student trustee, Evan Miranda. ASDC has been actively preparing for the upcoming academic year, and I'd like to briefly share some of our recent work. First off, we participated in both LISA's emergency preparedness events, supporting community engagement and student safety. Second, we appointed 3 new officers, which would be our new ASDC secretary and 2 senators at large, which strengthened our leadership team. We still have a couple of senators at large positions open, which we plan to fill this fall. Third, we joined the Doherty/CTE monthly mixer, continuing our collaboration with campus program. And lastly, we toured the Doherty/CTE Center, continuing to build connections and learning more about the resources available for students. Looking ahead, our ASDC board will be meeting next Monday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. for training, planning, and preparation for the fall semester. And on Tuesday, August 11th, we'll be doing a team building bowling activity in Lodi to kick off the semester with a strong, united leadership group. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to continuing our work in support of Delta College students.
Very much. Classified staff, Susan Rodriguez, Veronica Arroyo, Pete Longero. Faculty, Becky Plaza, Liz Malone.
Thank you for report today.
Oh, thank you. And Management Center, Sean Domingo. Thank you. This is out of order. Comments from the board of trustees. Let's start with that. What's that?
Upcoming reports.
Oh, upcoming reports. Thank you. Do we have any requests for any upcoming reports? Yes.
Not necessarily a new request, but when we get the reports on dual enrollment, I would also like to include college early start.
Thank you. Get that? Yes. Yeah.
I couldn't hear that, Dr. Jennings. I'm sorry.
Yes. Trustee P is asking that to be sure that dual enrollment are included with the college early start reports.
Got it. Thank
The other way
you.
around. Got it.
I understood. Thank you.
Fine. Got it. Trustee Swanson.
We got
I
it.
noticed that our course fell off of the upcoming reports.
Did you get that?
That's good, something that.
Yes, I got it.
Okay, we'll get that scheduled.
Pardon me on the park course. The reason I had it removed is it wasn't an upcoming board report. It was going to be in a Friday message.
Okay,
And I have requested that from VP Chavez. So that should be forthcoming in your next update.
thank you. Is that sufficient? Okay, take a look at that and if you would like for it to be agendized with us. Anything else? Okay, communication, comments from the Board of Trustees. Trustee Miranda.
Nothing really to report, just excited for the fall semester, it starts, yeah. So it starts in 2 weeks, so yeah.
Good. Trustee Swanson.
With a couple of events, epic. It's epic, it's very nice. We laugh. In the community events, and it's always nice to get out into the community and see everybody and what they're doing and make connections. I know that we met somebody that would be a great speaker. There's graduation. So anyway, nothing to need for the report except for I hope the weather changes.
Trustee, Mathis.
Great, thank you all.
Trustee Rivera.
You get safe, stay home, please.
Yeah. Trustee, Pina.
So I too had the opportunity to go to the LULAC Scholarship Dinner. And I don't want to brag or anything, but I have two of my students, former students who received scholarships. And one of them has received them 3 years in a row. Camila, sorry if I embarrassed you at the dinner, but I was all excited. And it's really great to see that. So if you didn't have the opportunity to go, the keynote speaker for the LULAC Scholarship Conference wasn't just one, but several of previous recipients of the scholarships. And to hear their stories, including Jose Hernandez, but to hear everybody's story, just a reminder of how our students need that inspiration sometimes, and that to know that many of us, you might see us, middle class and, professions and what you consider success, but a lot of us came from humble beginnings, and to remind the students of that is just powerful. And Epic was phenomenal. 10 years, go Epic. When we do the research on Asian students, we typically focus on Chinese, Korean, Japanese, and their success. And we don't necessarily look at the struggles of our Vietnamese, Hmong, I'm missing one, Filipino and Pacific Islanders. And so it was nice to see that these groups also being represented at that time. And I hope that Epic goes 10 times 10 more years. 100, thank you.
Saturday morning, I went to a Coma meeting, it's a Hispanic political action kind of committee. The guest speaker was the community relations person for Rob Bonta. So it was very informative what he's doing. A lot of questions around ICE and what the Attorney General is doing. Some people spoke up that I thought there was some interesting topics that they talked about. One was that, which I wasn't aware of, that they're saying by state law that high schools can only educate kids virtually for 6 months. I didn't know that. I thought you could do it all year long, but there's 6-month window. So the reason that came about is because this educator was saying that she's having extreme difficulty getting kids to school because the kids are scared to go to school because they might get picked up. The kids are scared to go to school because their parents may not be home when they come back because they got picked up. And when the educators go out and knock on doors, nobody's opening the doors. And the reason I bring that up is because I would like us to maybe keep track of something like that, because now I see folks or young people not getting educated. So now we're gonna have to pick up the slack, right? When they're 18, 19, 20 years old and they missed out on high school and are way behind. So that means we're gonna need more rudimentary classes to get them up and running again. So just to keep our eye on that and preparation to know if this is really occurring versus just what this educator said. So thank you for the information and all the hard work that you do.
And can I make another, I'm sorry, excuse me. I attended the roulette, dinner as well. And I have to tell you that the speakers that they had, there were about 6 individuals that spoke. And of the 6, 5 were Delta College alumni. Wow. So they spoke about Nessa, Eloisa, who was a former Nessa coordinator. It was phenomenal. They bragged about Delta College so much. And all the instructors that they had here at Delta College and what Delta College meant to them. And how they encouraged folks to go to Delta College. But it was very moving, and 2 young ladies, which kind of shocked the 4 of us that went. 2 of those young ladies got $12,000 scholarships to be pilots. And it was like, whoa, awesome. And the people kept asking them, well, don't you want to be a nurse? Or don't you want to be a doctor? No, I want to be a pilot. So just to hear that, it was just kudos in the air. It was unique and wonderful. And you guys are doing it here at Delta College. Instructors, you're doing it. And thank you for that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I too attended the LULAC dinner Saturday evening, and I was kind of very proud to be associated with Delta College and the students that we groomed along the way. And the success stories of the California community colleges is huge, especially here at Delta. And oftentimes it's the 4-year schools where the bachelor's degree gets awarded that gets all of the kudos. But let me tell you, as a community college graduate, it was the best education and the best teaching and learning experience that I ever had. And we should all be very proud of the work we do here and the doors that we open for everybody that walks through them. It's really incredibly an honor to be affiliated with this institution. And that will conclude my remarks tonight. Dr. Aguilar Lawrence, I'll give you the floor.
Okay, I'll just keep my comments brief. And I wanted to thank the board for their approval of the ICER because it's a really critical part of our accreditation process. And I wanted to thank Jordan and Becky and Tina for their amazing leadership and work working with AVP Figueroa to accomplish this amazing feat. It is not easy to write the ICER, and working with all the constituencies and making sure that their perspectives are included in the document and making sure all the documents are there takes a lot of work. And I just want to thank them and thank you for your support and approval this evening. And I concur with Trustee Rivera. If you are sick, stay home. Unfortunately, COVID is still out there.
COVID's out there and rearing its ugly head. So with that, we're adjourned. Good night, everybody.